despite there being around 100,000 flights in the sky every single day, and sometimes even double that. You'll notice something strange. Hardly any flights go directly over the Pacific Ocean. We're talking barely 40 planes a day. Meanwhile, the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, they see over 4,000 flights crossing them daily. So, why is the Pacific Ocean, the biggest body of water on Earth, basically avoided by pilots like it's cursed? Welcome back, friends. Before we get started, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Let's go. Let's say you're flying from Asia to South America. What path would make the most sense? A straight line over the Pacific, right? Nope. Instead, flights take this wild curve from Asia through Europe, over the North Atlantic, into the Americas. Looks super long, right? Even worse, the airspace over that route is crowded beyond belief. Planes everywhere. And yet, almost no one chooses to fly straight across the Pacific, even though it looks shorter on the map. So, what's really going on? Let's break it down. 1. There's nowhere to land. Literally. The Pacific Ocean is massive, over 165 million square kilometers. And unlike the Atlantic or Indian Oceans, the Pacific has almost no solid land masses suitable for emergency landings. If anything goes wrong, engine failure, system malfunction, sudden drop in altitude, there's just open water below. No airports, no backup options, no second chances. Oh, and did I mention it's the deepest ocean on the planet? Yep. This is where the infamous Mariana Trench is, over 11,000 meters deep. If a plane were to go down here, rescue? Not likely. 2. Planes can't even make it across in one go. The Pacific's widest span is around 20,000 kilometers. That's longer than many planes' maximum range. Even the newest, fuel-efficient Boeing models can go about 16,000 kilometers on a full tank. Still short of what's needed to cross directly, which means many flights need layovers or fuel stops, making that straight line totally impractical. 3. The weather is wild out there. The Pacific has some of the most unpredictable and violent weather on Earth. We're talking about cyclones, sudden storms, dangerous turbulence, and the kind of out-of-nowhere lightning that gives pilots nightmares. And the worst part? Most of it happens without warning. The Indian and Atlantic? More predictable and more manageable. Forget the Bermuda Triangle. There are far more dangerous zones in the Pacific, like the Devil's Sea or the Dragon's Triangle near Japan, where mysterious plane and ship disappearances happen way too often. 4. There's almost no radar coverage. Most flights rely on constant communication with ground stations. Over the Atlantic, there are at least 4 major control centers tracking everything in real time. New York, Santa Maria, Shanwick, and Gander. They check in with planes every 14 minutes. But the Pacific? Not so much. There's no dense web of radar stations, no real-time support, and definitely no solid infrastructure to back up emergency reroutes. So pilots prefer to stick to land routes as much as possible, not because they're afraid, but because it's smarter. 5. Straight isn't always shorter on a sphere. Here's the mindbender. That straight line you see on a map? Not actually straight, because Earth is a sphere. Well, more like an oval. And when plotting routes on a 3D globe, the shortest distance between 2 points is often a curved path, not a flat line. That's why planes go from Asia to Europe to America. It's shorter in reality than cutting across the Pacific. Crazy, right? 6. Jet streams make it worse. High above the Earth, jet streams, these super fast wind currents, circle the globe. They move from west to east and can hit speeds of over 400 kilometers per hour. If your plane flies against them, it's like swimming upstream. But with them, you'll zoom. And guess what? The Pacific is home to some of the most chaotic jet stream zones, constantly shifting. That unpredictability makes it nearly impossible to plan consistent, efficient flights over it, especially when there's no radar infrastructure to help pilots adjust mid-flight. So, do any planes fly over the Pacific? Yes, but only when absolutely necessary. Flights from California to Australia or between Pacific islands like Hawaii, Fiji, and the Solomon Islands, they have no choice. But even those flights are handled by specially trained pilots using special navigation systems and monitored in a different way from normal commercial flights. They're prepared for the risks. And still, they're the exception, not the rule. So, what did we learn? Flying over the Pacific isn't impossible. It's just really complicated, risky, and often inefficient. And when you're dealing with thousands of flights a day, airlines don't want complicated. They want reliable, safe, efficient, which is why they go around. Still here? You're a legend. If you made it all the way to the end, you're one of the real ones. Drop a like to show us how many people made it through. And if you've got a topic you want us to cover, drop it in the comments. We read everything. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe,